This August, the rhythm returns. The Toronto Pan-African Film Festival is back, and louder than ever. It's Rhythm, the heartbeat of Black music and storytelling. Experience the powerful fusion of film and music that honors the creativity and impact of Black musicians worldwide. August 14th to 17th, from the Black Carpet Gala in Little Jamaica to free screenings, panel vibes, and the grand finale brunch with media mogul Phillip Scott. Get your tickets now at tpaf.com. The Toronto Pan-African Film Festival 2025. Feel the rhythm, live the story.
You've tried it your way, but you're still in debt? Or maybe you're doing okay, but want to invest smarter, grow faster? MillionaireX.ai gives you real step-by-step strategies to ditch debt or stack wealth. Stop dreaming and start planning. Visit MillionaireX.ai today. I want you to be the next millionaire next door.
Finding the right real estate professional can be challenging. I'm broker Melissa Wilson. I'm knowledgeable in all aspects of the real estate process. So whether you're looking to buy new or an existing home or have a commercial need, I'm here to help.
Let's stop acting like we don't see how this game is played. If you tired of folks throwing shade with a smile and keeping you boxed in with that slick behind-the-scenes racism, it's time to upgrade your survival skills. See, Phillip Scott dropped more than just knowledge. He handed you a playbook with passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy. This ain't the in-your-face kind. This is that sneaky, office space, let me block your blessings type of racism that'll have you questioning your own reality. It's time to call it what it is and arm yourself with the facts. But baby, don't stop at just peeping the system. Break those mental chains too. That's why you need 7 steps to decolonize the mind. This is about freeing yourself up top, walking in confidence, and letting the world know your mind is not for rent, lease, or layaway. It's time to reclaim your power step by step. So don't just watch, take action. Click over to Amazon.com, type in passive-aggressive racism in the system of white supremacy and 7 steps to decolonize the mind, and secure both books for yourself, your crew, and anybody ready for that mental liberation. La Sherika said it, now go do it. Invest in your freedom. Pick up both books today on Amazon.com. Trust me, your mind will thank you.
I don't spend my money at the club. Everything I want is provided for me.
Biggest misconception about you? Nothing. It's all true. It's all true. It's all true. If you hear something, believe it. You want to get married now? Do you feel like you're that? No. It is by choice. It's by choice.
Who inspires me? Me. Yes. Me. Yeah. They inspire me, those people you mentioned.
I date mostly like married men, because I don't have that type of time for you. Oh, yeah. And you are married, you don't have that type of time for me. What do you think it is that the wives are not doing? I love this question.
They're not really being loved properly. When you stay with someone for so long and you feel like, oh, I don't really have to do much. Don't ever be comfortable around a human being. Freaking sweet.
His wife, one day I just make 11 o'clock, I'm like, okay. She's like, my husband can't control himself, and you as a woman, you can't. I said, Mama, you can't even speak English. Like, I can't even understand. Like,
yeah, I can even speak English because of that's why.
Yeah.
I don't even speak English sometimes. I wouldn't say it was a sugar daddy or a blaster. But I had a thing with someone that was giving me a lot of money.
Every day he was sending me money for lunch.
Every day is when you go to work?
Exactly.
Shout out to the slave queens who are getting their thing without having to sell a thing,
Yeah.
Trust me, you can get whatever you want, once you put your mind to it.
Watch Slay Queen only on the African Diaspora News Channel app.
From November 14th to 21st, we're inviting you to join us for a powerful trip to Ghana. This isn't just a vacation. This is a chance to walk through the same places where many of our people were captured held, and shipped off into slavery. So don't wait. Secure your spot today. We're making history by walking through it. Will you be with us?
In H-Town, we want news that speaks truth, just like we do.
ADNC keeps me informed and him inspired.
We've been through too much to trust mainstream media. This feels like us.
From the D to the diaspora, ADNC is how I stay woke. We binge ADNC like it's Netflix, but smarter.
They speak on us, but never for us. ADNC does.
No fluff, no filters, just the truth, daily.
From Wall Street to 125th, we're watching our news.
Download the African Diaspora News Channel app today to stay connected to the culture.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for joining us on the stream this evening. It is my pleasure to be here with you. It is the 21st of July. Lord, hold on. Let me get my watch. I got to keep up with the time. Give me a second. All right. Cool. Let me make sure I check something. Beautiful. We sound good. All right. So, yeah, we got some new things going on, of course. Like always, tonight we're going to talk about something that I've been kind of seeing going on, at least on the streets of TikTok. And some people was talking about this and, talking about something about boycotting, possibly boycotting African braiding shops, African businesses. We're going to get into that conversation tonight because, I gotta just talk my talk tonight, right? So on top of that, I hope your weekend was going good. Hope it went real good for you. At the top of the show, though, or the stream, I don't know if y'all heard, Malcolm Jamal Warner had passed away. Did y'all hear about that? Looked into it. I said, man, is that true? I had to go look deeper into it. And he ended up passing away. He was out in Costa Rica with his family. And he was, I guess in the water swimming or whatever. He got caught in a rip current and he ended up drowning, basically. That's what ended up happening to him. And, me going to Costa Rica, them waters can get kind of, it depends on where you're at. And if you're not in a controlled environment, like, maybe a pool or something like that, you got to be careful. Definitely got to, even if you have your life jacket on a rip current, that can, even if you're a good swimmer, you can get tired with something like that. But yeah, the brother passed away. He had a wife and children, things like that. And so he was very private about his family, which he should be private about his family. You can't be putting your family all out there like that, because everybody who do that, I notice, they have problems in their family. So yeah, I just think it's too many. I want to get like Kenneth Copeland in them. There's too many demons out there, right? That's trying to speak evil on your family. So you need to kind of keep your family at the hip. Now, if somebody see your family out there with you, they see it, but you just putting them all out there. Some people just don't like people be happy. They just don't. But definitely want to send our condolences, to Malcolm Jamal Warner. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about, better known as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. We all grew up watching it, or at least, if you're in my age group, we grew up watching, Malcolm on TV. Then, he had Malcolm and Eddie for some years. When you remember back when they had UPN, right? Then y'all remember the UPN days, Malcolm and Eddie. That show, I think it was on for 4 years or so. So then he done other, programming as well. But yeah, the brother passed away. Oh man, that's not. Oh, I hate to hear that. Cause like I said, we used to watch that brother every week, the Cosby Show, man. I know y'all remember that episode talking about Gordon Guttrell, the shirt. You remember that episode? Talking about he will get a Gordon Cottrell, he'll get a jacked up version. I don't know why I thought about that episode from the Cosby Show. There's been so many episodes of the Cosby Show, and it's sad even with that situation, right? Because these folks, they so dirty. They're so dirty. You know, when they play the Cosby Show or any show in syndication, the people get paid. And when they accuse Bill Cosby of all this stuff, they accuse him to destroy Bill Cosby. They also hurt all the cast members of the Cosby Show. See, the cast of Friends, right? They still getting a big bag off of that show, and that show been over with. That show got to be on a whole decade. Now, they always talk about the black shows for the most part. They try to end them in 100 episodes. They say 100 episodes is just enough for syndication, but not enough to pay black people the money they say like the people from Friends get, right? Because I think the guy, Matthew Perry, that died, you know, from drugs, they say he was getting like $10 million a year. They say all for residuals from Friends. Understand? So it's a lot of dirty things going on with our people. They took Cosby Show off. Now you remember what was old boy name that played Melvin? I forgot his real name. You know, he was in there working, I think, Trader Joe's, and people were shocked to see him working there. I said, man, he was on a Cosby Show and all that. Well, you know, you cut that brother's checks off. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I understand. Hey, man, you got to work. It is what it is. You got to provide. But with everything happened to Bill Cosby, all the times, and then even after the situation, you don't even have black networks that will put it on. And then the thing is, they say somebody like me say, hey, well, shoot, NBC, what is it going to cost to get the Cosby Show on our app? I love to have it on our app. Man, you get into there, they'll try to charge you an arm and a leg, even if they allow you to license it, because they own it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go through them, go through licensing. And like I said, my bag get big enough, that's what I want to do. I want to get all the black shows I can on our app. That is my main thing to do on the app. You just got to spend a little money to do that. Or you create your own shows, which I like the guys are trying to create our own shows, because I have so many ideas for shows. It just costs a little money, right? But anyway, those people are so dirty, and it leads me up to what we're going to talk about tonight. Is that are we starting to take things too far? That's the point I'm trying to make. Are we starting to take things too far? Some things are good to address, and we should address them. But are we carrying now, or some of us are carrying things a little too far where they say, okay, bro, we're not focusing on these white folks and their racism and what they do to us, okay? We worrying about, I think, some things we should not be worrying about at this stage in the game, because we have a lot of issues coming at our people. Our children right now having a hard time getting to college because what Trump and them is doing up there, and now they having to pay all this expensive tuition that they didn't normally have to pay, and we're not even focusing on things like that. We were so focusing on, so I think things that's just kind of, I think it's kind of going a bit far now, in my opinion. It is, and we need to reel this thing back in, because when I created this platform, I did not create this platform to be going at black people. And I don't care what flavor of black you are, whether you're FBA black, whether you are Caribbean, whether you are Afro-Latino, whether you're Afro-Asian, whether you are African, if you are Afro-Arab, whatever you are, I did not create this platform to be wasting my time going at you, because all of us are being attacked by these folks and this system. We all at the bottom. I don't care what you say. We all at the collective bottom. Some of us doing great, but collectively, you don't rise no higher than your people, right? Just because you're doing good and your people not, you're not doing good as a collective of people. And what I'm starting to see with some people, not all, this you know, they teach that having pride goes before a fall. And pride is not nothing that you want to get consumed with. It's okay to be proud of who you are, being proud of your community, being proud, but don't get to the point that you're so proud that now you become pompous, arrogant, and is getting into sin and unrighteousness. Okay? We are supposed to, before the eyes of God, be humble at all times. You understand? And we definitely don't want to take on some of the mindsets of those that try to come in and divide all of us, right? Because you got to think about it. the author of the confusion for everybody is these folks. They're the one that has caused the problems. And I just finished wrapping up my book that I just finished writing, and I'm going to do detail in my book how these folks from the beginning has caused us all the problems. Whether you are in the African continent, whether you are here, whether you are in the Caribbean, whether you're in Latin America, they are the author of the confusion. And I don't know how we're getting to a point where we're taking our eyes off of them and looking either inward or within our distant family or whatever. I don't see how we got to the point that we so focused on that and not looking at what these people are doing. Because these people are still doing things to everybody. We got reparations to be fighting about, right? Why are we fighting about some stupidity? It's kind of getting on my nerves. I didn't see some things over the weekend. I said, all right, bro. All right. We gotta reel this stuff back. We gotta get back to business. Cause we're not on business right now. And some of this stuff is definitely leaning into some selling out, not saying other words I can't say on here. And a lot of it's borderline. Cause I'm like, what is the purpose of it? What are we all getting out of it? No matter what side it is. It's not just the FBA, it's African and Caribbean and whatever. What are we getting out of this? What are we winning at the end of the day? We're not winning anything. We all still at the bottom. I'm going to get to what I want to get to, but I'm saying is don't have this gladiator mindset that you're fighting to be at the top of the bottom. Because that's what I'm starting to see. You're having a gladiator mindset, all of you, and it's not one group. All of you having this gladiator mindset to be at the top of the bottom. I don't want to be at the top of the bottom. I want to be the head and not the tail. You understand? You don't win anything by being at the top of the bottom. You're still at the bottom, bruh. You're still there. Well, at least I ain't in his position. No, you're still in his position because you're at the bottom. Realistically, FBAs are at the bottom. Africans are at the bottom. Caribbeans, the bottom. Afro-Latinos, the bottom. Afro-Asians, anywhere we are collectively at the bottom. Well, no, Phil, we make more than all the... Okay, we make more. Let's say in this country, we at the top of the bottom. We're not making the money white folks are getting. Look, we got $11 trillion wealth gap. We're fighting for reparations. We're still fighting for human rights. We're fighting about gentrification. We're fighting about all these different things right here in our particular homeland. So we're not at the top of anything that we're supposed to be. So wasting our time on some silly things at this point is not helping us get out of the bottom. And that's just what I'm starting to see over the weekend. Sure, we can straighten some things out. Let's straighten it up. Sure, we got to respect each other. Oh, yes, I'm all about that. But when we get into the point it's getting ridiculous at this point, and we're not even focusing on the people who is causing the problem for everybody, that's when I say, all right, man, let's reel this thing back a little bit. Let's focus. Let's get back focused. All right, now, let me show you what got me started with some of that, okay? Now, I'm watching the comments on these videos because I said, let me go to the comment section. Let me see what it says. And I'm just seeing too many familiar patterns that we've seen on YouTube before in the past. Like I say, I'm OG in this. And I'm noticing a lot of accounts making comments, no face, no nothing, but they saying one thing, like they say they FBA and saying this, and then this other one say they African saying that, and then this one say they Caribbean saying that. Or if they do have a picture, the activity is not much. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all do realize that these folks want to see us all going at each other, because if we going at each other, we're not paying attention to them. And I am at this point a firm believer that these folks are causing a lot of these problems. That's why I don't get into the comment section a whole lot, even on my own content, because I know that. And unless I really know you, and I know you solid, and I know who you are, maybe somebody I see in here all the time may make a comment, I may respond to it. is because I don't fall for that. I ain't got time either in comments. I'm like this. I said what I said. It is what it is. Make your comment if you want. If I want to address a comment, I'll do it on the stream. But let me get to the first video real quick. And this what got me to start saying, okay, I think we need to kind of pay attention here. Hold on.
I made this post to boycott the African braid shops. And honestly, I didn't expect it to pick up as much momentum as it did, but it did. And I think it's a good thing. And like I said, I don't just talk about it, I bees about it. So since it's picking up so much momentum, since we are in a paradigm shift, and since we as Black Americans are really sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of telling them we are sick and tired of being beat, battered, bullied, and abused by every ethnicity that is not a Black American, I have picked a date, and I say starting August the 1st, for the entire month of August, we boycott African-owned businesses. That includes restaurants, hair salons, braid shops, etc., etc. It's time to show them that our Black American dollar is what runs this damn country. We are no longer tolerating disrespect. We are demanding it. We have been punching bags long enough. No more. So, I say again, August 1st, we're going to start, and for the entire month of August, no support for African businesses from Black America. Now, there are some of you in the comments that are saying, well, if we're going to do this to our own people, to Africans, which, by the way, they're not our own people, they are not Black American, and they don't even want to associate themselves with us, but I digress. If we're going to do this to them, then y'all are saying, well, we should do this to the Asians. We should do this to the Arabs. We should do this to this. I agree. And if you want to do that, start your cause.
All right. So it's not just her video that got it's what came after that, right? Let me address Nikki in here. Nikki. Where's Nikki here? Nikki says, what are you talking about, sir? We are talking about the AU trying to be FBA's voice when it comes to speaking of reparations. Okay. The reason why I didn't make content about the African Union saying anything, the African Union has no power. The African Union has no voice. I've been to the African Union myself. We've dealt with people from the African Union. They're not organized to do anything. They're not organized enough to do things on the African continent, to be honest with you. So anything they're saying about reparations or whatever is just talk. They're not. They do not and cannot intervene in American affairs. They don't even intervene in African affairs, like talking about. The African Union can't tell Rwanda, stop doing this. South Africa, stop doing that. Uganda, don't do this. I'm just saying things. I'm not saying they doing anything wrong. They have no power. I'm telling you, none of them presidents in the African continent listen to them. That's almost like a social club at this point. They have no power. They have an agenda and all these other things they want to do, but they don't have any power because I've asked them questions about in the past about the diaspora. What are y'all doing? X, Y, Z. Well, we trying to do this and we trying to do that, and they ain't done the thing. So I won't even waste my time talking about, There's a lot of people talking and they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They just run off at the mouth. You haven't engaged these people. A lot of you haven't even been over there where they at to even know what they got going on. That's why certain things I don't even talk about. When y'all talking about the African Union 6th region, they gonna, that been set up way before you found out about it. I knew when they did this years ago. And they're like, the diaspora gonna be the 6th region. And at that time, I said, okay, what y'all gonna do for the diaspora then? Are y'all doing some citizenships? What are y'all doing? I asked that question. Well, yeah, we doing it. And this is when Dr. Arikana was still around. She was the most vocal person from the African Union, and they let her go. Says a lot about that. And the reason why they let her go, she told it, was because Emmanuel Macron didn't like how she was on his bumper all the time. And if Emmanuel Macron could get her removed out of her position as a permanent representative of the African Union to the United States because he said so, that means it has no power. So that's why I didn't even engage in certain conversations. How is the African Union going to come over here to United States, tell the U.S. government, give me the reparations for black people? Like, do y'all really think sometime before you talk? I got to go there today. Do you really think? You're just in a chat mad about something that would never happen. This government is not going to give the African Union crap. So chill out. This is what happens when you when you let people run off at the mouth till you don't know what's going on. Geopolitics is something important for all of us as FBAs. We need to know what's going on over there in Africa, in the Caribbean, in Latin America, in Asia, in all these different places. We need to know. Because when you don't know, people could come in and say, look at what they about to do. And they haven't done a freaking thing. They have the simple thing they could do is give us citizenship. They can't even do that. They can't tell a single African nation to give us citizenship. That's nothing but paperwork and a passport. So they can't do that, but they can come over here and get the American government to give our reparations to them. Okay. So just wanted to clear that up. Now, moving forward. So this woman is talking about a boycott. Okay. We talking about a boy, or not we, her and a couple of others, and kind of agree with her. All right. So I've, with my daughter, and even, had my wife been over there? No. I think my daughters have. No, she did go over there about once or twice to the African braiding shop they got not too far from the house of my daughter's school. First time I went in there, I recognized, I say, oh, the sister had a hijab on. And I say, hey, sister, how you doing? So she said, we were talking, saying, oh, you need some braids for your daughter? Yeah. And then I got to talk. I say, you from Senegal? And she said, yeah, I'm from Senegal. I said, oh, okay. I say, well, assalamu alaikum, And then so we got to talking, whatever. And then you hear them in there, some of them Nigerian, some of them speaking Spanish because they from Equatorial Guinea, because that's the only African country that speaks Spanish. So I hear them speaking Spanish in there. Speaking English, whatever. And I'm kind of watching them do their thing or whatever. Did anybody treat us rude? No, they didn't. It was no complaints. I mean, I know that they say that they're about three of them jump on you, then they'll go jump over here or whatever. Maybe the way they do things sometimes, but other than that, I mean, the braids look good or whatever. Here in Houston, there's a lot of African braiding shops. I haven't really heard a big outcry about customer service or anything like that. I also heard that you save a little money. That's why a lot of FBA sisters go to the African braiding shops, because they actually get to save money, because some FBA stylists charge a little bit more money. I don't know why. I'm not in that world, so I can't even judge price. I'm just telling you what I know and heard and all this sort of thing like that, right? Okay, cool. So there's African restaurants here in Houston. For instance, definitely like going to which one I like going to? Blue Nile, Ethiopian. That's pretty good. I think that's one of the only African ones I really kind of go to. Maybe Cool Runnings, that's like Caribbean, but I got certain ones I like to go to. All right, and but I've never had a bad experience in none of these places I've been to. They've been nice. They've been cordial. I didn't feel them like, get out of here or stay away from the Akata kind of stuff. No. So I'm like, so when she's saying this, like, okay, why are you bringing up a boycott when I thought y'all was boycotting Target? Like, you moving away from Target to this? This don't make sense. Oh, we gonna show them. Show them what? We need to be showing these white folks. They the one causing us the problem. I don't care what nobody say. No African, Caribbean, or nobody has gentrified us out of our neighborhood. None of them have. If anybody's done things in our neighborhood, it's been the Arabs and the Indians and all them other ones like that. They came in our neighborhood and getting businesses from our government and all kind of different things, right? I haven't heard no black people say they've been gentrified by a bunch of Africans. I just never heard that. But the folks and some of our own people, some of our own FBAs sell us out. In the Democrat Party every day, they will sell us out for everybody else. You know this. We have so many things that we need to be focusing on. Now, I'm like this. Support anybody you want to support. I'm not boycotting nobody. I'm not boycotting FBAs. I'm not boycotting no African, no Caribbean. I'm not boycotting nobody. No. Why? What for? Like I told you, I didn't create this platform to fight against other black people. I didn't. Once again, we can get some straightening going on, and hey, you gonna respect me? Hey, put some respect on my name. You can do that. I'm all for it. I'm with you. But that's far as it go with me. All right. Let's focus on the task at hand. Now, it's something else I want to get up on too. Let me get to this next one here. It's something I want to respond to because I got a clip. I want to follow this one up here. So hold on.
Yo, you all are really mad at African. You guys are really mad at the whole continent. You guys want to boycott our businesses and stuff like that. But most of you guys still wear Lululemon. What is the problem? I'm not understanding, and I'm not like, why are you guys so mad? Why are you mad at us? Why are you guys so mad at us? Honestly. Funny thing is, if we all get pulled over by a cops, we're still black at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's still going to be the same thing. Why you guys, I don't know why, like, no one is trying to steal nothing from you guys. You guys are not trying to steal nothing from us. What is the problem? What is the problem?
Before I get to that, okay, so she mentioned Lululemon. I'm glad she mentioned that. Okay. In 2024, now Lululemon is a company that's not owned by FBAs, not owned by Africans or Caribbeans or none of them. But I did a video in 2024 about the founder of Lululemon and how he felt about black people, definitely black women in particular. But yet we have, what's that song y'all like listening to? Y'all, it's all over the place. I forgot. What's that name of that song? Oh, Yammy, whatever that song name is. You say, put some Lulu on this butt or whatever. Y'all know that song, whatever. Now, you're giving free advertising to Lululemon, okay? Now, I'm going to play you a clip of what I covered back in 2024, all right? Let me play it real quick. So Lululemon founder and former CEO Chip Wilson criticized the company's recent moves to expand its product line to a wider market. Now, Lululemon is a, fitness, clothing brand, and they are kind of pricey. If you go into the Lululemon stores, those of you who like to work out, definitely a lot of you ladies wear their, clothing a lot more than probably us men. Let's say in a new interview with Forbes, it said Wilson, who also launched a yoga wear maker in 1998 in Vancouver, British Columbia, criticized what he referred to as the company's whole diversity and inclusion thing. He said Wilson also called out the company ads for featuring people who appear unhealthy, sickly, and not inspirational. He said they're trying to become like The Gap. He said everything to everybody. He said, and I think the definition of a brand is that you're not everything to everybody. You got to be clear that you don't want certain customers coming in. Well, a lot of people didn't like that statement. He said, what do you mean you don't want certain customers? See, racism, white supremacy is a stupid thing to me. It's so stupid, even on a business level. Let me tell you something. In business, everybody's welcome. You know why? Because everybody got some sort of funding. They're going to pay for it. If I'm selling clothes, athletic wear, I want everybody to buy it. I'm not going to say I don't want those people. Man, please, you come on in here. Now, I say Lululemon has issued a statement distancing itself from Wilson, who has not been involved in the company's daily operations for years. I say Chip Wilson does not speak for Lululemon, and his comments do not reflect our company values or beliefs. The fitness brand says that Chip has not been involved with the company since his resignation from the board in 2015, and we are a very different company today. All right, so I just wanted you to kind of just hear something from 2024 that the founder don't really want black folks wearing, don't want, even though he stepped away because he got into a controversy, he still has a hand in it. You can't tell me he don't. Because, just because he stepped away, he has no hand in it. A lot of times they do. Like, for instance, Jeff Bezos isn't the CEO of Amazon anymore, but we know it's still his company, right? So anyway, there was no mass boycott of Lululemon. People kind of discussed it here and there, but nobody acted on it. And what this man has said many times before, he don't want black people wearing his product or the product that he created or the brand that he created. But yet you're putting that in your song. You're going twerking and film content in Lululemon, giving them free marketing that they should have paid you for. Even if you're twerking, they should have paid you for that, right? These white brands don't care nothing about black folk. But when you want to talk about get together to boycott something, you're not boycotting them. You want to boycott Africans, braiding shops, or whatever Africans got, restaurants. I don't know. That's what you're focusing on. Okay. Once again, I can support making sure people respect us. I can support informing people about our history. I can support telling them, hey, man, you can't come over here and side with the folks against us. I'm with you on that, 2,000%. If they're going to do that, they need to go. I'm with that all day long. But if they're not doing that, some of this has gotten kind of a bit far. And I'm gonna get into some of the things where I feel it's kind of gotten a bit far. But let me play something else, because I'm hearing the same reports out of South Africa too. So that's why I'm gonna link them two together. But let me finish this off.
I have one question for Black American. If you guys can answer this question, very, very clean. May God bless you all. Why you guys hate us with passion? Why you guys hate the ground that African walk on? What is this that African have done to you guys that you cannot come out to say it? But you go on live and say our food is nasty. That we come from Africa to take away your food stamp, your benefit. Ma'am, I don't live on food stamp, first of all. Ma'am, I don't beg for food. I work hard. We haven't taken nothing from you guys. We're supposed to be brother and sisters. We're supposed to be united. No hate. You guys are worst racist person I ever seen in my life. God have mercy on you guys.
See, and that kind of comment, and I'm hearing that back and forth, actually. They say, oh, they don't like us. They say, and I could address that stay away from the Kata thing. You know that. I've been on that. Oh, I've been all through that kind of stuff. So I have a history of making sure to check them. And I would say something if it's on both sides, but I say both sides. Both sides need to stop. Both sides. I'm going to keep saying that. Both sides need to stop, because when I'm noticing the intensity of it, this is what caught my attention, the intensity. Like, give you an example. One girl just did a video I just saw today about South Africa. And Operation Dadula was running up on people at the clinic, the hospital, something to that effect. And they say, hey, let me see your ID. Let me see if you're a citizen. And so some people was in the line with citizens. And so they had the ID like, oh, oh no, this must be a fake because you don't look like a South African because you don't got South African features. I'm like, what you talking about? I am South African. My parents, man, this is my homeland. What are you talking? I was like, and then I'm hearing that stuff, and then I'm hearing the same thing here in America about features and all that. Listen. Not every African hairline is the same. I'm going to tell you what I've seen. Some Africans have the hairline y'all talking about. Yes. And some of us even got their hairline, believe it or not. Yes, some of us do. Some of us suffered alopecia. Alopecia for us, it happens. A woman could have alopecia from, it can come from sometimes genetics. It can come from braiding hair too tight. Stress can cause alopecia. When men lose their hair, they say, oh, you're getting old and bald. That's just alopecia. And, you can get surgery or whatever now and get your hair back, right? But it's still considered alopecia, okay? Talking about color, talking about noses, talking about, look, man, I'm telling you what I've seen. I've seen people that resemble my family in the continent of Africa. I'm like, whoa, I've seen them. If y'all stuck on the hairline thing, the Zulus, when I saw them, they had the exact same hairline we have. Nothing was different from that. You have some that have the same hairline, some that don't. And but I don't care at the end of the day about people's hairlines. I don't care about their features. I don't care about that. Nobody's hairline gonna do me a freaking thing. Their features not gonna do me a freaking thing. They will, but not any of that. I don't care what's on your head. I don't care about that. I just don't care. I don't care. We got so many different things that we need to focus on. So if you in South Africa talking about you're not South African because you won't have certain features, I'm like, where are we going with all this? Even South Africans. And y'all don't like when somebody talk to y'all. And that's another thing. South Africans, let me get to you too. When somebody tell you about yourself, don't talk about us. You worry about yourself. You worry about, no. If what you're doing is being put on the international stage, then you're opened up for people criticizing you at that point. You can't go out there with cameras and Newsroom Africa and SABC following you around doing what you're doing, and you don't want nobody to say nothing about it. People are going to talk about it because realistically, it's the same thing with y'all. Y'all run up on black folk over there in South Africa, but I ain't see now one of y'all run up to Cape Town to go talk to them white folks over there that's illegal there too. A lot of white people are illegal in South Africa. They overstay, they go to Cape Town and overstay their visa and they stay in South Africa, in Cape Town. They don't go to Joburg, but they stay in Cape Town. And y'all not going down there to tell them good white folks nothing. I mean, y'all, I've seen videos out of South Africa, seething hatred for quote unquote foreigners. I'm like, bro, if all the foreigners leave tomorrow, that's not going to change your situation, bro. Now, I would even get you being upset if your government was doing what my government does. My government gives foreigners billions of dollars every year. And we got American citizens homeless. FBAs is homeless, right? I would get you being mad about that. Y'all, they not even getting with that from y'all. Because I've asked around, I looked into it. They don't have programs giving them all kind of money. Basically, the way it works over there, hey, if you come over here, you better get you a job and get it how you live because you're not getting nothing. Now, maybe an NGO may help them, but it's not through the government. Over here, our government has weaponized immigration against FBA. When Biden got in, the first thing he told us before he even got inaugurated, y'all gonna have to work with the Hispanics because it's more of them here than y'all. That's what he said. And we didn't understand what Biden was meant by that. We're like, what? What is he talking about? We did not know he was gonna flood the zone with people from Latin America. They was gonna make sure the Democrats were gonna paper them up in the cities. They was gonna stay in hotels that FBAs can't even afford for free. They was giving job fairs. They was giving everything. I would understand y'all tripping out if that happened in y'all country. Ramaphosa didn't do that. The ANC haven't done any of that. And y'all that mad about it? Y'all do not deal with what we deal with immigration over here. But at the same time, in South Africa, I met, some people talk about Zimbabweans. Okay, I've met them. Very nice brothers and sisters. Very, very nice. Working jobs, things like that. A lot of Zimbabweans are working service jobs, like waiters, waitresses, and stuff like that, And I remember there was a very, very nice Zimbabwean sister, right, that was serving us at Signature Restaurant. And I just felt in my heart to try to bless her with something. I just felt it. It's not that she asked me for anything. And I asked her, I say, well, look, on a real good day, how much rand you make in a day? I mean, like if somebody really treated you good, how much rand you make in a day? How much? And she said, she froze. It's like she didn't know what to say. I said, no, give me a number. How much rand do you would make in a day? I mean, if it's a good day, how much rand? And she looked at me and she said, 1,000. I said, 1,000? I said, that's what you make, right? I said, okay. So I say, well, here you go, sister. Hey, have a blessed day. And she was like freaked out that I did that. You know, and I saw she was over there wiping her eyes, crying, right? Which we should be doing that, right? I'm a firm believer doing that if God leads you to, right? But I'm not going to say, oh, she ain't FBA, so nah, forget her. I'm not going to do that because God is watching. God is watching, okay? And I don't know what's going on with some of our people. You forget that God is not watching. God wants us to fight. God wants us to be courageous, but God does not want us to have this hatred for each other, okay? He don't want that. Because I'm going to tell you about hatred. I learned about hatred years ago. Listen to me. After, this is a long way before I met my wife, all that. So that's after a situation, me and my son's mom and all that, and I got divorced, whatever. And I had a lot of hatred after that. I say about a good 3 good months of hatred. I'm going to say hatred for her and all women at the time. Because I was just seeing story after story after story how men were just being done wrong the same way. And, I just had a hatred, boy. Hatred. And I remember one day it came to me. And I never forgot this. I was in my kitchen. And it dropped in my heart like this. It said, hatred is cancer of the soul. Get rid of it. And I froze when that came to me. I'm like, cancer of the soul. And I understood what it meant, though, because if someone gets cancer, the first thing the doctor's trying to do is find out where it's at and how they can get it out your body. Because if they let cancer just fester in your body, it will spread all over your body and take you out. So the first thing they're trying to do, hey, can we do a surgery to get it out? Can we do some treatments? What can we do to get this cancer out of the body? We don't want it to spread more than where we know this location is at, right? Hatred is what they say when they say cancer of the soul, it spreads all over. So you may think that you have a hatred of one thing, but even the so-called people you love, you'll start hating them too. Prime example. The white supremacists, Klan, whatever you want to call them, they say they have a hatred of FBAs, anybody else, right, outside of them. You can look in American history. They have put a lot of white people, the same people they say they love so much, they put a lot of white people in the same trees that they put black people in. Why? Because this white person spoke up. Because this white person was a civil rights icon, leader, abolitionist. Their own white people that they say they love, that they love so much. Yet they would use that same hate against a white person that they love so much, right? Because, you're siding with them over me. So now so the people that I say I love so much, right? Other white people, now I'm going to turn that same hate on white people. You could do the exact same thing now. I love my community. I love FBA. I love this and that and the third. And then an FBA can like, bro, I don't really agree with what you're talking about. You really? So you with them and all this. And now you're throwing venom toward another FBA. You can't contain any kind of hatred. That's why hatred should never be in your soul. Look at the white supremacists, and it haven't worked out for them. They are the most miserable group of human beings on the planet because they have so much hate. That's one thing I don't want to do is turn into them. And I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I'm not fighting to be at the top or the bottom. Sorry, I'm not fighting to do that with nobody. Once again, yes, we correct behavior that's disrespectful. Yes, if they get in a political position and they're advocating for things against us, we better check them and get them removed. Oh, yes, I'm all for look at the Yvette Clarks of the world and all them ones like that. She talking about pro-immigration. She's not talking about pro-Black America, and that it includes Black immigrants. If you're not talking about Black America, I know you got to go. Because when they talk about immigrants, they don't even mean Black immigrants when they talk about immigrants. That's the crazy part. And Black immigrants, you need to pick that game up. When they talk about immigrants, they're not talking about the Black ones. They're talking about the non-Black ones. That's the ones they give all the paper to. Let's call it what it is. When in New York, I did the videos. All the Latino immigrants was in the hotels. The Black immigrants, a lot of them was on the streets. They was in New York asking for money. How come the Black African immigrants and Caribbean immigrants couldn't get the money that the Latino immigrants are getting? They was asking them at a city hall. How they getting it and I'm not? So when they talk about immigrants, they don't mean African and Caribbean and anybody Black. They talking about them non-Black ones. That's the things I need to tell African, Caribbean, and other immigrants. They don't want to give you nothing either. They don't like you either. Because you're too dark. You're not their favorite. No matter what they tell you, I like you more than them FBAs. No, they don't. They don't like you no more than they don't like me. And some of you come over here and you start smelling yourself too. I get it. You think an education is, oh my God, I'm more educated. Man, that piece of paper you got ain't worth crap in America. Because I don't know if y'all realize this. They're trying to take America back to the time you got to work manual labor. That's why AI is coming on board a lot faster to take away all the administrative jobs. Some of y'all, I got a master's degree and I'm the head of HR. AI gonna snap that away like Thanos. Your AI, all your jobs gonna be gone like this with AI, with administration. And you got to go back to manual labor. That's what they trying to do. AI is gonna push a lot of people back to manual labor jobs. Yeah, it's talking about Haiti. Look at what they do to Haiti. They don't like Haitians. Yeah, y'all remember what they did to the Haitians at the border? How they treated the Haitians, but all the other ones could come in here? They act like they were being invaded when the Haitians were at the border. That's what I'm saying. It's no reason for no Caribbean immigrant, African immigrant to have no issue with FBA. Because we don't have nothing to do with that either. I'm just trying to tell everybody, stop the crap, man. We got our true enemy, the one who's really like caused us problems, is these folks. That's the ones who's caused us the problem. That's who destabilized, like who bombed Black Wall Street, who destroyed Rosewood, who caused all of the friction to cause a Rwandan genocide. Think about that. Who colonized the African continent? Who did all the filth they still doing today in Jamaica? Who's doing it? It's nobody that's part of FBA or the diaspora. It's these folks. Your leaders are corrupt in these nations. And you go find out they're working with these folks. Isn't that now FBA's doing it? That's what I'm saying. It's like we have so many, it doesn't take much to realize the hidden hand that's causing a problem for everybody. But it's so much easier to fight against each other. It's easier to do that. And like I said, I will call you out when you're disrespectful. So don't think because I'm saying this today that if you're being disrespectful tomorrow, I won't call you out. Oh, I'm going to call you out. Don't worry. And that's why some of y'all don't like about me. Well, 1 minute he's saying this and the next minute he's saying that. He needs to pick. I don't have to pick nothing. I pick my truth. I pick my God, and I'm following that. And two things can be right at the same time. One day you can be right about saying, nah, we're not going to take no disrespect now. And then we can also be right that, hey, we don't need to be trying to fight each other to be at the top or the bottom. Those two things will be right at the same time. I'm laughing what King Noble said. Yeah, I think that's all of us sometimes. You know, you got to watch that. Smelling yourself. Yeah. Yeah, because like I said, I tell Africans, Caribbeans, don't let that degree. make you think you high and mighty. That's no. In this country, you can have a doctorate degree. You can have 1 million degrees. In this country, you're still a ninja, okay? Period. Whether you FBA or not. Ooh, I got a car, and other people got a car too. I got a house. I'm doing so much better. You know, even when some people say, well, we're doing better than FBAs, that's arrogance and pride talking. Why are you looking at somebody else, what you doing? Focus on yourself. Focus on your family. Don't focus on nobody else and what they do. You don't know nobody else's situation. Well, we do this, we do that. It's not enough for y'all. When you start breaking down the numbers, that's why I say that's pride and that's arrogance. You're not doing better. Because you go look in your homeland, you're not doing better as a collective of your people. Because you had to come over here to do it. So when people tell you, hey, bruh, sis, watch your mouth. You had to come way over here to do it. Oh, y'all being xenophobic. No, it's just the fact is you coming over here kind of being prideful and looking down on black people here and not even knowing our story why we in the position that we're in. And so it do become disrespectful and arrogant or whatever, like you the only one that's ever been to school. Like I'm the type of person, I'm not talking down on people's education, but you just don't impress me having a doctor in front of your name. You impress me when you're a good person. You impress me when you're an innovative person. That's what gets my attention. Man, accolades, I don't care if you got $1 billion. That don't impress me because you ain't giving me none of it. Ooh, he got money. So? He ain't giving me $10. So why am I impressed with his money? He got these cars. He got this house. I don't care. I'm not there with him. He ain't let me ride in the car with him. So I don't care. And I thank God I have that mentality. Like people just don't impress me like that. And let me before I gotta wrap this up. And I'm gonna repeat it again so people can understand in the back. If a black American say I'm not African, I'm telling you what they're really telling you. I've repeated it 1,000 times. I'm gonna use myself. When I go to the African continent, I'm culturally FBA, Black American. I am not culturally African. I don't have the customs. I wasn't raised there. I don't know how to cook the food. I don't know any of that other than I'm learning it, but I don't know it because I'm not culturally African. If an African come here, they're not culturally FBA. They're not. Now they're kids, that's first generation. They've been around more FBAs, so they're going to take on more of what we say, what we do, the clothing, the whatever. But at the same time, they're in a kind of like in a situation because their family like, oh, well, you Nigerian, but they went to school with none but FBAs. So whoever you're around, you're going to become more of, right? So if you're around a bunch of FBAs, but you go home, your mama and them talking about you're Nigerian, and then let's say that Nigerian kid that's Nigerian American goes to Lagos, they going to look at him as an Akata too, because he's not culturally Nigerian. He's actually culturally more American. Listen to videos from African first generations. They'll tell you they're not even accepted over there. I just think people sometimes need to slow down. Let's reassess. 3 and 4 things can be right at the same time. Okay? 3 or 4 things can be right at the same time. What one person or a few people say doesn't represent millions of people. There's millions of black immigrants here. What a few say don't represent the whole. From what I've seen. What a few FBAs say or do doesn't represent the whole from what I've seen in life, okay? Stop letting social media divide us as a people and let's use social media to, go at the real people, these folks, right, who's causing the problem. Stay out the comment sections arguing with people who don't have a picture and they do have a picture. They have no videos. They have no nothing. Just don't do that. We learned that game years ago. That's why we cut down on a lot of stuff we argue about in Black America, because we picked up the game. Okay? Learn. All right. Who made a video about me? Lily Gaddis made a video about me? She was so mad. What'd she say about me? Oh man, what'd she say about me? Nah, I'm curious. What that woman say about me? And why didn't y'all send me that video? Man, tag me that video on X. Let me see. What did she say about me? And if she want to come on the show, she can. I talk to her all day long. Hold on. Where's she at? Well, y'all, whatever video she sent about me, yeah, y'all send it to me. Well, did she get mad about that video I talked about? Because I was kind of breaking her people down on the podcast. What video that was? Okay, Black Butterfly. You need to go rewind. The stream. I already covered that. Hold on. Yeah, y'all send me the video because I don't know what she said. I'm curious. I'm so curious because I need a laugh. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let me wrap this up. But thank y'all for joining us on the stream tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure I click that like button, subscribe button. Make sure I head over to AfroWire AI at 8 p.m. Well, here shortly. It's already attached here. And I don't know. Have y'all seen the commentaries with LaSherica? Let me ask you a question about that. So how would y'all think about, let's say maybe on the weekend, maybe once or twice on the weekend or so. What y'all think about LaSherica coming through once or twice on the weekend? I'm just curious what y'all thought about that. Right. Just wanted to know because y'all could tell me a lot more than anything else. What y'all think? Well, I think LaSherica could handle this platform on the weekend a little bit. Just one video or so, like a day or something like that. But what y'all think about that? I'm curious. Say one person says they like it. Some say, well, let me tell you about that. I told y'all I'm going to use every tool in my arsenal to do what I do. And everything I've ever done in the past, some people supported it, some people didn't. But sometimes you reach new audiences too by doing different things. And we always got to expand and grow. And that's how I look at things. So, let me see. We trying to represent best way we can with artificial intelligence. We definitely are. But we're going to be in the mix of AI. I don't care what nobody say. I'm not going to be that black person that is left behind. I refuse. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming on through. Let me go ahead and wrap up.